Okay, let's get this YouTube stream going as well, and we'll get started shortly. Okay, let's get this YouTube stream going as well, and we'll get started shortly. Okay, cool. Seems like we're live on YouTube as well now. Welcome, everyone. We're doing this stream on a couple different platforms, so we're going to be live on YouTube. We're also going to be live on the AI Squads website, so go ahead and get on there. If you're in AI Squads, I'll be prioritizing the questions coming in from there. And yes, this session will be recorded. Cool, awesome. Where's everybody tuning in from today? I see Faceless, what's up? Francis, hello, Gog, Jason, Cecilia, Avis, Miroslava, hey. From the UK, awesome. So we'll wait a couple more minutes for everybody to roll in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be doing today, it's a Claude Code session for beginners / intermediates. We're going to go a little bit over how to set up your Claude session, and then some of the tips and tricks. If it's your first time using it at all, it's going to be a little bit fast-paced like our lectures typically are, but we'll have the recording for this as well. Brazil, UK, audio is a bit low. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see if we can turn that up a little bit then. Let's see, audio up. Okay, I have the audio on a little bit higher now. Hopefully that's all right. Could you please turn up the sound? Let me know if that's better, guys. Let's see. Is that any better, the volume? Yes, mic is very low. I'm gonna point it a little bit more at me. Hopefully that's better. Better? Okay. Okay, good. And yes, for those asking, this session will be recorded. And if your audio is low on YouTube or TikTok, it's a little bit better on the AI Squad site. Cool, okay. Let's wait 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Mic low, mic very low. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, mic is low, turn up volume please. I hear you guys. I'm trying. I'm not sure how to turn up the volume on here. Let's try. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. If it's not, you guys can join on AI Squads. That'll be a little bit better for the audio. The seminar is going to be roughly an hour long. We do have a similar video for ChatGPT happening next week. So if you guys want to join for that, you can as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, we have an agenda for today. So I'm going to be going through the Claude Code setup on how to get Claude Code set up in the terminal. And then we're going to talk about MCPs a little bit. We're going to talk about the core 4 concepts of Claude Code. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and walk you through how I actually use Claude Code myself in a demo. And then we'll talk about, like, should you even be using this in the first place, followed by a little bit of Q&A. Also, we just launched our AI Squads VIP program, so I wanted to share this with you guys as well. If you're interested, you like these type of sessions, we do sessions every week in the AI Squads community, and I hold office hours as well every week. So we do new live sessions on the newest AI that's coming out. We'll have a session on Kimi coming up. We have a one about ChatGPT coming later this week. We bring guest lecturers from industry, and we put you guys in teams to learn AI and basically build every week. So you come in with a goal that you're going to achieve. We teach you the AI tools to kind of be able to do that. And so you can check out some of the upcoming sessions. And we have a ton of savings as well with partnerships. So $20,000 on strike fees if you have a product you can save with some of our codes. So if you're interested, check it out. It goes up $10 every 20 students. So this is the lowest price we're going to get. And I'm pretty sure this is going to sell out by the end of the day today. So if you're interested, scan that QR code and you can join the other sessions. But this one's a completely free session we're hosting for everybody. But yeah, if you're interested, grab that and let's get into it. So first of all, I want to talk about the Claude web app versus the Claude desktop app versus Claude Code and what are the differences, right? So we have this is the Claude app right here. This is the Claude app, right? You can download the Claude app and you can chat with it here. We also have Claude on the web, where you can just type claude.ai online and you have a chat here where you can come and chat with. And then the final thing that we have, and the thing that we're going to be talking about today, is having Claude on your terminal. So how can you open your terminal, type Claude, and then Claude pops up on your terminal. So there's 3 different ways to use this. Claude Code is one of the worst named products ever. Because even though it's called Claude Code, even if you're not coding and you never intend to code, it is still Claude's most powerful product, right? So I recommend for everyone, and that's what we're going to go to today, is to set up Claude Code. Even if you don't plan to code, this is the best tool. And the reasoning is, it just has the full capabilities. Co-work and the chat are basically smaller versions of the full product of Claude Code. And all the updates that they roll out. So there's actually Claude Code on the web app here too, which you can see. Somebody asked for the QR code, I'll show it in a sec. There's the Claude web app here that you can see as well. And you have Claude Code here, you can press it up here. But still, this product is not as good as the terminal, because the updates that they release first go out to this terminal one, and then later they'll roll it out to the Claude Code. And there's some other tips, like you can run multiple of these terminal sessions at once, where you can't really run multiple of these at once, which I'll talk about. But yeah, so Claude Code is the one we're going to be going with. Can't see slide. Oh, okay. Thanks. Let me share that as well. Cool. Okay, so for the people who asked for the QR code, here's the QR code again. I'll leave it up for a second. I'll leave the QR code up for 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, moving forward. Cool, yeah, so we'll be going into Claude Code. Now to set up Claude Code, it's a little bit difficult to set up Claude Code, but it shouldn't be too bad. Here's the site, Claude site, for going and setting up Claude Code. So if you go to their site, and I have the link up there that you can press, and I'll pull it up here. So they have a quick start guide, and based on what system you're on, if you're on Windows or Mac or Linux, the installation is going to be different. So if you're on Mac, what you have to do is just grab this line right here, hit copy, and then open up your terminal. So you would go to your computer, type in your terminal, and then you would, once you open your terminal, you would just go and type this in here. You would paste it in here, you would hit enter, and it would install Claude. What I've also done to make this easier is I put a full guide together. So there's a guide on AI Squad's resources, Claude Code setup, and I'll show you it right here. Yeah, so here's a full guide that I put together. Whether you're on Mac or you're on Windows, you can click it, and it'll get you through the full instructions of how to do it. And another thing that I've done is I've put together a prompt to have the AI help you set up Claude Code. So if you're really struggling, what I recommend is go online, download the Claude app. Once you download the Claude app, you can come into the Claude app here, right? Go into the home, come into the Claude app, click co-work here, and then grab this entire prompt that I put in for you here, copy this, and paste it into here. And then the AI will guide you through how to set up Claude Code, right? And then the other thing is we're going to have office hours directly after this, and we'll have office hours during this week. So if you're struggling to set it up on your system, you can just come in and we'll help you get it set up. So don't need to worry about that. But what's going to happen is basically after you type in that command, you're going to get Claude downloaded on your terminal. And when you have Claude downloaded on your terminal, the way that you start Claude and you start chatting with Claude is you come here and you just type in Claude. So once you type in Claude, it'll ask you for permissions. You'll hit OK. And then you'll see the Claude character pops up and Claude Code. And this looks like not as appealing as the app or the website, but all it is a chat. Just like if you've used Lovable in the past, if you use ChatGPT, it's the same thing. It's a chat. It just doesn't look as nice, but it's extremely powerful. Now, this is my number one go-to tool, and I want to share some of the disadvantages and some of the advantages. So the disadvantages, it's a little bit more difficult to set up, as you saw here, but we're going to help you do that. The second one is the learning curve is a little bit steeper than an app like Lovable or just a web app of like ChatGPT or Claude. It also is more expensive. It just consumes more tokens, and it has potential security threats, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. But I want you to know that they're there. 99.999% chances you're not going to get impacted by them. But what Claude Code does is it gives the AI access to your entire computer. So things could go wrong. Like we've seen cases in the past, not with Claude so much, with ChatGPT, where it accidentally deletes some people's files or things like that, right? But it's very, very rare, and the advantages that come out of it are so much that I think it's worth it. And I've been using this for years now, and nothing's happened to me or most of the people I know, so I recommend using it. In terms of the advantages, I want to compare it to like tools like Cursor and Lovable. So I actually had a real project I was doing at Coinbase that I used Claude Code for, and I gave it to both Cursor as well. And the difference between Claude Code and Cursor is Claude Code just thinks a lot more, spends a lot more tokens. And what it did when it wanted to solve this problem for me, it went and searched the web. It found like 3 different options, found the pros and cons. It did a high-level quality analysis, and then built it all. And like finished a month-long project in about a week, right? Whereas Cursor just like kind of picked a single solution and then started building it, and it was non-optimal. So yeah, that's kind of the difference between a tool like Lovable and Cursor versus Claude Code. But ideally, you have all of these tools in your toolbox, right? You can use Codex, you can use Claude, you can use Lovable, Cursor, and that's kind of what if you were in our camp before, that's kind of what we thought of, like how you set up your system to be able to use all these tools, so you're not limited to one. So I personally use Claude, and I use Codex, and I use Lovable, right? And Cursor. These are all tools that you can use depending on what's the best at the moment, because a month from now, the tools might change and something else might be better as well. But a lot of you I know are on budgets as well, so I want to give you an idea if Claude Code is the right choice for you. So if you only have $20 a month, I actually don't recommend Claude Code because Claude's pretty expensive. It's better than the other existing models. It's smarter, but it's also marginal. It's not insanely smarter, especially with the new ChatGPT model and the new Kimi model that came out. So if you only have $20, I actually recommend maybe going with Codex, which is ChatGPT's version of Claude Code. Because not only can you get further along with only $20, but also ChatGPT has an image generation model, so you can generate images, whereas Claude doesn't do image generation. Or if you're a complete beginner and you just want to launch a web app, maybe I would recommend even Lovable over Codex. You could also consider Kimi. Kimi's a new Chinese model, so if you want something that's cheaper than both of these options, Kimi's a good one. And it'll get you further along. And then Cursor is a good shout out to. Cursor allows you to tap into all of these models. So Cursor allows you to use Claude, it allows you to use ChatGPT, Grok, Kimi. So that's another option you might want to consider too. Just depends on your budget. But if you have $100 or more of budget, I would typically recommend Claude Code. It still depends on your use case. But yeah. And I titled this session like saving 10 hours. So I want to share some of the things that you can do with Claude Code to get you 10 hours saved. Like one of the things I really love is booking flights. Booking flights always takes me forever. It honestly takes me about an hour to find the flight I want. If you set up Claude Code right, it can know your schedule. You can just tell it, hey, I need a flight for next week. I want the cheapest option that gets me from point A to point B between these times. And it will just go and search through all of the deals, figure out all the options, and then even go through the checkout process, type in all of your information, get it all ready, and you just have to go press checkout at the end, right? Saves a ton of time. Or if you want to like build a survey, you want to build a survey that you're sending out, you can not only have Claude go to Google Forms and build the survey for you, but you can have it ideate and figure out what questions you should even be asking for. And then at the end of it, when you want to analyze the survey as well, you can have Claude do that and give you a summary of the survey as well. Or let's say every day you're checking some dashboards. Every day you're checking your follower count, or you're checking Stripe for how much you sold that day, or things like that. You can aggregate all these. You can tell Claude, hey, every day I want you to send me an email with all of these stats from all these different sites, and send me an email of the summary, and include my email summary in there too for the most important things I need to respond to that day. And then that's another thing you can do. You can have it go through your email and draft responses to all of your emails. But the part that I said about Claude Code, you can do that with any AI tool, kind of, right? But Claude Code, you can give it memory, so it knows who you are. So when it responds, it has full context of like your life and your work, and it can write proper responses. Yeah, a lot more. You can take messy note. Yeah, one of the things I like the most is just like using voice memos, where I just talk to Claude and give it a bunch of context, and then it'll go out and execute everything. Another one is if you want to like reach out to a ton of companies, you can have Claude go research a company, go find all of the employees there, then scrape their email and find out what their emails are, then go research each person individually and write a custom email to each person about whatever you want, and then send it out to all of them, and then follow up with responses as well, right? Like these are the things you can do with Claude Code, which can save you 10 hours. And all of this is nothing to do with writing software. If you're writing software, it's saving you 50, 100 hours. You're just moving at such a faster pace than you would without Claude Code. And yeah, even compared to Lovable, Claude Code is a lot stronger at writing software. The same thing that took you maybe 10 to 100 prompts on Lovable might just take you one prompt on Claude, but it might cost you $20 for that one prompt, right? And the reason for this, and I'll pause to read some of the chat here. So, what are people saying? Somebody said, thank you. GitHub stores the code, then tools like Claude, Codex, and Lovable all work together on the same code base. Correct. That last one is amazing. Nice. Good to hear. Just wanted to confirm, but are we able to integrate from, let's say, Lovable to Codex and Claude Code? Is this where GitHub comes into play? Correct. If you have all of your code on GitHub and you're writing a site, then you can use Claude or Codex and all of these different tools to work on it. I don't see the link because it's hidden behind your face. Which link are you looking for? Ayush, if you're in the chat, maybe you could help out with the links. Appreciate you. Okay. Cool. And then the reason that Claude is so good at doing all of these things, because Claude Code gets access to a lot of things on your computer. So it can read files from your computer, it can search through them, it can edit them, it can use your terminal and run commands for you. And we can set up MCPs as well, along with a lot of other tools like searching the web, and then like, yeah, basically all these things that you see here. But the main thing is it has full access to all of your computer, and you can set up MCPs. Now, what are MCPs? You might already know what MCPs are, but MCPs, if you know what APIs are, MCPs are very similar to what an API is, except an MCP is an API for your AI agent. So basically, you can think of an MCP as arms for your AI agent, which allows your AI to use other tools. So let's say I want my Claude to write emails for me on Gmail. I can set up the Gmail MCP. Now Claude Code with the Gmail MCP will have access to reading my email address. Or I want to send Slack messages, so I can set up a Slack MCP so it can read all my Slack messages, right? Or I wanted to edit code on GitHub, and then I can set up a GitHub MCP. It depends. And nowadays there's an MCP for pretty much any software tool that you're using out there, and you can connect it with your AI, and then you never have to touch that software tool again. For example, like I use Vercel to host my site. I never actually go and touch Vercel. I don't even know how the UI of Vercel really works, right? Because Claude goes and does that whole process for me. So some of the MCPs that I recommend is categories, right? I recommend one MCP for your document store. Wherever you have the most documentation stored about either yourself or your company, whether that be in Google Docs, Notion, Confluence, set something up where Claude can access these databases so it can read stuff and figure out more about you. Another one is setting an MCP up for your communication channels. So that's like Slack, Gmail, whatever you might be using. If you use a project management or like a note-taking tool, I would recommend setting that up as an MCP so Claude can put like to-dos for you and check them off when they're completed. And then if you're coding, setting up a database MCP, most people in here will probably be using Supabase as their MCP, especially if you use Lovable to create your site. So set up an MCP to your database so Claude can edit your database as well. And then there's some bonuses as well, like Claude in Chrome and Claude Remotion, which I'll show off. So there's Claude in Chrome, and then there's Playwright. So these are kind of the same thing. Both of these allow Claude to take over your browser and do things for you. So I'll actually show an example of this. Let's see, I'll do this. So let's say I want to fill out a form, right? And let's go find the form. Let's say I want to apply to Pear, and Pear is a venture capital where they fund your company and they give you $250K to $1 million in funding. If you get in, they have a form you need to fill out. I don't want to go through filling out all of this. So what I can do is come here, come to my Claude, right? And I'll make this a little bigger. Somebody requested. So I'll make this a little bigger. I'll come here. I'll paste in the link and I'll say, hey, go through this site and use the Claude in Chrome MCP to fill out all the information based on what you know about me and AI squads. Don't ask me any questions. And I'll hit enter there. And what we should see shortly happen in a second is Claude will actually open our browser and start going through this form. So if we give it a sec, let's see. It says calling Claude in Chrome because I already have Claude in Chrome installed. And so now one thing about this is it can be slow, but it's not really an issue because you can open multiple of these sessions at the same time. So now I can open up another terminal and tell Claude to do another task and just have this one running in the background. So that's what's nice about it. Even though it's slow, you can do many tasks at once. Okay, cool. And you see here in the top of my browser, it says Claude and it opened the form right here. So, and you can see its cursor here. So now Claude is going to go through this, click on each of the fields and start to fill them out. And I'll let it do its thing while we go through lecture, and then we can come back and see if it filled it out by the end of it, right? But that's super nice because this form would have taken me a long time to complete the whole thing. But this is going to save me like 2 hours, 3 hours of time that it would have. And sure, maybe it's not going to be perfect, but I'll just come in and edit it at the end. Another one that's really cool is the Remotion MCP. So here's an example. There's this person on Reddit who said they built their software. They didn't have time to put a demo video together. So they just used the Remotion MCP. And what the Remotion MCP is, it gives your Claude access to edit videos for you and create videos for you. So I'll open this up. You might not be able to hear the sound, but don't worry about the sound.
You've got 200 resumes sitting in your inbox, and you're still the one opening every single PDF. What if your form could actually read them for you? You drop in the file, and Filter reads it. Name, email, skills, everything gets...
And I'll pause it there, but pretty cool, right? All of that was AI generated, and he didn't even tell Claude anything except he said, hey, this is my project I've done. Go ahead and check out the project and just create me a demo video. And it came up with the idea and built all these animations and put together a full demo video for it, right? So that's an example of the Remotion MCP. But there's a lot of different MCPs. Now you might be asking, how do I set up an MCP? This seems complicated. It's really not. If you want to set up an MCP, and I'll hide this session that's running, and I'll open another session. So I've opened my terminal. I'm going to type in Claude. I'm going to give it access. And then what do I type in here to set up an MCP? I will just tell it if I want to get an MCP. So let's say I want to connect to Slack. I would say, hey, I want to set up a Slack MCP. Help me do it. And I'll hit enter and it will do it for me. And normally it'll do everything it needs and it'll just ask you to log into, like in this case, it'll ask me to log into my Slack account at the end of it. So it's super easy to set up MCPs. Everything that you do in Claude Code, you just chat with it and it will do it for you because it has access to all of your computer. It can handle everything for you instead of you having to do it. So here it goes. It's setting up the Slack MCP. And I'll pause again for questions here. Do I need a terminal for this though? Like I normally just use Claude extension for tasks like this. You can use the Claude extension. I recommend using the terminal because it's just when Claude releases new features, it comes to the terminal first. And the terminal is nice in the sense that you can run multiple sessions at the same time and see them all at the same time. So like what my screen normally looks like is something like this, where I'll have a bunch of Claude Code sessions open and I'm seeing all of them and I can click between them. I can see when one of them finishes and then type a response. So like right now, see? It asks for a question. It asks, how do you want to authenticate? And I can hit enter here. And it says, what should Claude be able to do? Read or should it be able to post in Slack too? And I'll say, okay, do both. And I'll submit my answer. So sometimes with Claude will ask me questions, I can respond. And I can see when it finishes and go respond to all of them. So that's why I recommend the terminal being a better option. Other questions, let's see. Is Claude Code is like an API? Claude Code is like a tool. It's like a tool. This is really advanced. Yeah, this is pretty advanced. Where is the setup tools on AI squads, please? Yeah, I'll share a link at the end of this again. Is there any ways we can have subtitles? I don't know how to turn on subtitles, but thank you for mentioning that. I'll try to do it for next time. Cool. So now this is gonna get quite a bit more advanced, and these concepts I'm about to teach you, you don't need to set up. I'm saying it so that you're aware of it, but you don't need to set it up right now. So like, don't feel like all of this is too much, I can't handle it. It's just for your awareness. What I really want you guys to do this week, if you haven't used Claude before, is just go through that Claude setup guide, download Claude, and then start talking to Claude and doing all of your tasks through Claude. And if you get stuck, you just ask Claude like, hey, can you do this for me? Are you able to do this? Are you able to do that? And just see how far you can take it. And then these concepts are just more for your awareness, but we'll have more sessions on these too. And like week 2, week 3, week 4, that's when you can start to actually set up some of these things. So one thing about Claude, this is the architecture of Claude. And you don't have to worry about this, you'll never actually look at this, but there's a couple of main things. One is the Claude MD folder. All the stuff will be stored in here. And then we have the Claude MD file, and then we have commands, rules, skills, and agents. So we're going to start with the Claude MD file. What is Claude MD? The Claude MD is basically a piece of text that your AI will always remember in every session that you chat with it. So if there's something you want to say, like you want to say, hey Claude, I don't want you to ever use M dashes, you would put it in your Claude MD file. And I can show you actually my Claude MD file and what I have set up to give a better example of this. So here is my Claude MD file and what I have set up. And there's no perfect way to do this. Different people have different recommendations on what to do it. So in mine, I just have something here where I say, hey, most of my work is done out of this folder. This is where my code is stored. So I've just told it, hey, most of my work is stored in this folder. I've also, this is kind of technical, but I've told it, hey, like, if you want to do something, you can ask me once, but if I give you the permission once, I don't want you to keep asking me again in the same session. Then you have full permissions to keep going. And then I also have one, it's like a quick note feature I have, where it says basically if I ever tell it to add something to quick notes, I have a file on my computer that it's going to store these quick notes into. Now, this whole thing, I didn't write myself. I just kind of told Claude what I want, and Claude went and wrote this stuff for me, right? But every time a Claude session opens, it will remember all of this. So that is what the Claude MD file is. Every session you open with Claude, it will remember that information. So other things that you can put in there is like you can put information about yourself and who you are, right? And different things like that. And now I want to go into the core 4 things about Claude Code that you can set up. These are skills, these are sub-agents, commands, and plugins. The most important one, honestly, is going to be skills. And what a skill is basically, it's a pattern that you tend to do a lot that you turn into a skill. So let's say I write blog articles a lot, right? But every time I write my blog article, I want it to actually like look really nice. But each time I write these blog articles, I gotta tell Claude, hey Claude, like go and make it look really nice and make it in this certain style. And then next week when I go to write another blog article, I gotta tell Claude the same thing again, and again. What a skill allows you to do is write how you want this blog article to look one time, and then tell Claude, hey, in the future, if I ever ask you to write a blog article, create it in this format. So you could write, and to create this, how do you create skills? You just tell Claude, hey, can you create a skill for me? That's it. Hey, can you create a skill for me that does this? That's it, right? So an example would be, instead of my blog articles each week looking like this, it gets formatted to what our website looks like, and it looks like this every time I do it. And how it looks like is basically each skill that Claude creates, it will have one line where it will say what the skill will trigger on. So it will tell Claude like, hey, every time Sapir tells you to create a blog, I want you to follow this format. And then it'll have all of the format beneath it. So that is kind of what a skill is, right? And we can tell Claude to make a skill for us right now. And if you come into your Claude, you can view all of your different skills. So I'll come here and I'll open a new Claude session and I'll type in /skill. And you can see all of the different skills that I have here. And like this simple style skill, I can tell it, there's one called simple style, right? So I'll tell it, can you show me the simple style skill? And it'll share with us what is in that file, what that skill is, so we can take a look. Somebody asked, how does Claude differ to ChatGPT? They're similar. They both have their own pros and cons. A pro of ChatGPT, the main thing is it can also generate images. The biggest pro of Claude is that Claude is just the smartest model out there right now. So if you're doing difficult tasks and tasks that take a long time to build, like a huge site, Claude will be a little bit better at it. Can I use Claude Code on my phone? Yes, you can. You can use Claude Code on your phone as well. Cool. So it loaded it. You can see here, this is my skill that Claude has created. So the description is, it says you're a web design philosophy for building new pages and UI from scratch. And it says big readable words, no subtext, rootless minimalism. Regardless, so this is the description of what the skill does. Every skill will have a description, and then it will have the actual skill of the things that it will do. So big readable words, kill subtext, one idea per screen, etc. So this is one of the skills I have, because I feel like Claude tends to put way too much text on my screen sometimes. So sometimes I'll have this skill so we can simplify that down right from the get-go. So that is an example of a skill. Now, a skill is auto-invoked, which means you don't need to tell Claude to use this certain skill. It will know and have all these skills in its back pocket and just use them whenever it needs to, right? The second concept is a command, and a command is the same thing as a skill, except you have to trigger a command. Claude won't go use a command unless you tell it to use a command. So I could create the same simple style skill as a command, but if I did it like that, it wouldn't automatically apply. Claude wouldn't know when I'm creating websites to automatically make it in the simple style. I would need to tell it. And the way that you trigger it is you type in slash. You type in slash and then you type in the name of your command, whatever that might be. So if like your command is front-end design, you will type in slash front-end design. So these are skills and commands. And I'll speed through the other two because I don't want you guys using these. I just want you to be aware of them again. The other one is sub-agents. So what sub-agents are, we have our main Claude agent that we're always chatting with, but we can also create sub-agents that are particularly good at certain tasks. So for example, I could set up like a Karen sub-agent, right? Which basically, like this Karen sub-agent has access to my Slack, has access to my Jira, and then like each week goes through Slack and checks if all the employees finish all of their work. And if they didn't, she'll go ahead and message them on Slack of like, hey, can you make sure you finish this assignment? Right. So you can create a sub-agent and you can give the sub-agent certain rules, you can give it certain accesses and things like that. I don't know, for most of the people in here, too early to start setting up things like these, but that's another thing you can do on Claude Code. And then the final thing is a plugin. And what a plugin is basically, let's say you built a bunch of skills, you built a bunch of sub-agents. Now you want to share it with your friend, you want to share it with your co-founder, with an employee. What a plugin allows you to do is package all of these into one file and send that file over to them, and now they can use all of the same agents and commands and skills that you have. Or you can go find somebody else's plugin and download all those skills and agents and things that they have, right? Now, one thing I want to warn, if you do go into this, it can take up your context pretty quickly. So if you start adding a bunch of skills and you start typing a bunch of stuff into your Claude MD, your chat will have a lot of context in there, and if you give Claude too much context, not only will it burn more tokens and waste more money, it might start performing worse. So I wouldn't start randomly creating a ton of skills. Like if you look at my folder, I have only 4 skills total, right? And I use Claude a ton, and I only have 4 skills. So doesn't mean you should have 4 skills. You can have more, but like you don't want to have too many. What I recommend is don't go making skills. Just start using Claude Code. But over the weeks, remember the idea of what a skill is. So if you find yourself doing or telling Claude the same thing over and over a few times during these couple weeks that you're using it, that's the time you go back and you're like, okay, maybe I should now go ahead and make a skill for this. And yeah, so this is what a skill looks like again, a description and the topic, but you don't actually have to create it. You just tell Claude to create the skill. Now I'll pause for questions. I know that's a lot of context. Is this only on Chrome or Safari okay too? So Claude in Chrome, and we'll go back to see if it's filling it out. Okay, next. So see, it's filling it out. It's getting all the way through slowly but surely. So Claude in Chrome only works on Chrome, but Playwright, which I talked about earlier as well, Playwright can use Safari or other things. So that's why I mentioned Playwright. So if you want it on Chrome, use Claude in Chrome. If you want it on Safari, you can use Playwright. And both of these things you can just ask Claude to set up for you. Is Claude Code only on the paid version? Yes. Does Claude in the terminal consume less tokens than in the app? No. Claude in the terminal likely will consume more tokens than the app actually. Let's see. What is... can we do the same request on Claude Code in the Claude app or in the terminal? You can, but the Claude terminal... If you set up your Claude terminal correctly, you will have access to more tools and more context. And I would just recommend doing everything on Claude Code in the terminal. I do consulting for businesses, and this is the main thing that I'm teaching them. And I get paid like thousands an hour to go and just teach them how to set up Claude Code. So like businesses that are non-technical are paying this much to set up their Claude codes to start doing everything in there, you probably should too. Like it is a bit of an investment early on to get used to it, but once you do, it's just gonna save you a ton of time going forward. It's so interesting to hear a whole new world of information. Good to hear. Probably do 2 of the 4 right now. Nice to hear it from someone experienced. Good. Yes, don't overdo it. The worst thing you can do is not start and feel overwhelmed. Just go set up Claude. That's all I want. The rest of this, you can just listen it on so you have it in the back of your head, and eventually you'll come back to use it. What is the difference between a command and a subagent? So a command is just a set of instructions, but a subagent is a set of instructions plus a set of tools that the AI can use as well. Okay, cool. Good question, Law. Now I want to go into some of the commands and tips. So first of all, one thing that I really like. So one thing is like every time you're using Claude, you'll type something in, but it takes so long to respond. You kind of like start scrolling on TikTok or like, like twiddling your thumbs, and then it finishes and you don't even forget about it, right? Actually, it's so much of a problem that YC is this company that spends invests hundreds and millions of dollars into companies, and they invested a bunch of money into this company called Clad Labs. And what it does is basically it's for your AI agent. Wherever you type in a message into it, while you're waiting for it to load, it will pop up video games and fun videos for you to watch and play while it loads. Which, yeah, I don't think, it's fun. I don't think, this is particularly a good company idea, but you can tell how big the problem is, where, people are just forgetting and, wasting time while they're waiting for the agents to finish. But what I don't recommend you getting this tool, but what I do recommend is ask Claude Code to set up a hook that will play a sound when it completes. And you might have been hearing the sound on mine, but the way you do this, again, everything you just tell Claude, right? So I can open a new terminal. I'll type in Claude again to open my session. I'll hit enter, and I can say, hey, set something up so that every time you finish responding to me, you play a sound on my computer. Now, I already have this set up, so I'm not going to hit enter, but that is exactly what I typed in to set it up on mine, right? So that's all you need. So that's one tip. I recommend you doing that, especially when you have multiple sessions going. It's great to hear the ding when it finishes. Another thing is model, right? So there's a bunch of different models that you can use on Claude. So when you come into Claude, you can type in /model. There are 4 different models on Claude. There's Haiku, there's Sonnet, there's Fable, and there's Opus. All of these cost different amounts, but they're also different levels of intelligence. Haiku is the lowest level of intelligence, but it's super cheap. Don't recommend you using this at all. You can forget about it. Fable is the best model that recently came out, but it's very limited, especially if you're on the $20 plan. You'll probably get like one prompt out of this before you run out. So yeah, Fable can be really good. The thing I recommend using Fable for is if you have a giant task, that's when you want to use Fable. A giant complicated task, Fable can be good for, but use it very sparingly. I mainly have everything set to Opus. I do most of my work on Opus, and Sonnet is good if you have like, if I have summarization tasks or like simpler tasks, I will typically use Sonnet. Otherwise, I'll use Opus. But if you have less credits to spend, if you're on the $20, $100 plan, you might want to be using more of Sonnet than using Opus. It just depends, right? So I'll make it simple. If you have $100 plus, just default to Opus. If you have $20 or less, default to Sonnet. But you can switch between these based on the task as you get more used to it. So that's one layer, picking the model that you want, right? And I can share with this. There's a different pricing. So Fable will cost, and this is like roughly $20 per million tokens. GPT in comparison is like half the price. So that's why if you have less money, I recommend going with GPT. And then Opus is compared to Fable like half the price, right? So Opus half the price of Fable, and then Sonnet in comparison is also half the price of Opus. So each one is like half decreases, and then Haiku is only $2, super cheap. And then Kimi, they just launched Kimi yesterday, and this model is really great. It's a Chinese model that's on par with the quality of all of these top models, but it costs a fraction of the price. So if you're really limited on tokens, and I'll do a session on this in the future, Kimi might be something good to consider, especially if you're doing design. People are actually liking Kimi's design more than Fable, GPT, and Opus. It's like the #1 designer out there right now. So these are some things to consider. Sorry, let me get a sip of water. Somebody asked the difference between Opus 4.8, 7, and 6. Just use Opus 4.8. 4.8 is at the same price as the previous ones, except it's just better. So there's no reason to use the older version. Okay, and then on top of that, so not only do we have models, we have effort levels on top. So you can think of a model of how smart, like let's think of AI as a human, right? A model is how smart somebody is, how smart their brain is, and effort is how long they spend thinking about a task. So you can put higher levels of effort on your models for it to spend more tokens. It'll think longer, but it'll also cost more and spend more tokens. And you can see the quality difference compared to the average cost of these models for like Fable versus Opus. So for example, Fable on low is kind of equivalent to Opus 4.8 on extra high, right? So you can kind of compare and use, but to change your effort as well, you just come to Claude and you type in /effort, and then there's low, medium, high, max, and ultra code, and you can switch between them. So for me personally, I normally have just Opus 4.8 on extra high for doing most of my tasks. But you can play around with these and figure out what's the best one, what you prefer. If I'm doing a huge long-running task like building a whole app or something like that, I will switch the effort to ultra code. Another thing, just I think some people might find it interesting. If you're always trying to figure out like what is the best model, what should I be using, because I get that question a lot. There's two things you can kind of look at. One is this artificial analysis AI. So they have some score that like aggregates all of the different metrics of how good an AI is, and they kind of put it here. So there's no perfect metric, but this one's pretty good. But they have Claude Fable right now being the best model at 60 points, and then GPT 5.6 behind at 59, and Kimi at 57, right? So, and then you can look at the speed and the costs as well. Fable is a lot more expensive than all the other models. So this is on benchmarks, right? This is on like, there are tests that they try the AI. They send the AI to do some tests, see if it completes it, and gives it its score. There's another one I like called LLM Arena, where this one gives comparisons, but this is based on people comparing the outputs. So like GPT will generate a response, Claude will generate a response, and a person will look at it and see which one they like more and score it. And sometimes that is a more important metric than what tests they're passing, is like the feel of the model. So I like to check this one out too. So if you see on here, actually for web dev, Kimi is #1 right now, and by quite a bit of a margin. So yeah, these are the sites. If you want to look at the best models, you can always check these out. So more commands. Another thing this one I want you to remember. So as you use Claude this week, go through it and use it. And then after a week or two of using it, come here and type in /insights and hit enter. Once you do that, Claude will generate an article giving you feedback on how you're currently using Claude Code so you can improve. And I did this right before I started the session. It takes a little bit to load, but I typed in /insights and did I close it? Let me see if I still have it open. Oh, here it is. So it generated this whole article for me, telling me like what I'm doing well, what's working, what's hindering me, quick wins to try, and like all these different stats on how I can get better at using Claude Code. So early on, this is something that's great to use. Type in /insights and it'll give you some feedback. So let's see what it's roasting me on. It says on Claude side, there's a tendency to declare fix and complete live before it's actually verified in prod. So that's true. Like sometimes I put things out too early before I should. But yeah, it's pretty good. So that's another one I would check out. Another command is /btw. So sometimes you're having a chat and you're having this great conversation. You're like let's say you're building a dashboard and you're building the dashboard and you're telling it do this, do this, do this, and it's going great. And then you're like waiting for a session to load. But you want to ask it a question, but you don't want to derail it from like the conversation you've been having because the conversation is so good and the context is so good. That's when you can type in /btw and basically it will just ask a side question. And it won't remember that side question. It will just like pull it to the side. You can ask it a side question and then it'll respond to you. And you can keep moving forward. So yeah, if you have like a long chat thread like you see here, if you type in /btw, you can kind of ask it a side chat question and then just like go back to your main chat and continue chatting with the same message history. Another thing similar to BTW is fork. So let's say you're like working on a site and it's great and you love the context you're having in this session. You can type in /fork, and what /fork will do is basically duplicate your agent. So now you have two of the same agent, and now you can have one agent start working on one thing and one agent start working on another thing. So you can type in /fork to do that. Another one is /compact. So Claude will actually do this by itself. Here's the main issue when people start using Claude is they'll open up a chat here, they'll start talking to it, and they'll keep going and chat with it, make one feature, make another feature, ask it to summarize that, trying to keep going, and never open new sessions. That's the worst thing you can do. Not only do your Claude responses get worse over time, but you're gonna burn a lot of context. The way Claude works, everything in your chat history costs you every time. So let's say I say hi to it, right? And that costs me 2 tokens, let's say, right? And then I say bye in my next session, in my next message, and bye is let's say 3 tokens. The message bye actually costs 5 tokens because it also costs every message before again. So if I have a million things that I put in before and I just put in hi, that hi won't cost me 2 tokens. It'll cost me 1,000,002 tokens. So you want to start new Claude sessions every time you're working on a new task. That is the number one thing that's going to save you a bunch of money and give you better responses, right? Now, let's say sometimes you do need to have these long running sessions and Claude only has 1,000,000 context window and sometimes it will exceed this. If it exceeds this by itself, it will compact. And what compact means is it will take your entire chat, create a summary of it, and then only start using the summary in its memory instead of the entire chat, right? It will do this by itself. You don't need to worry about it, but you can trigger this manually too by typing /compact. When you do that, it'll summarize your entire session summary and it'll just start using that as a memory for it. Yeah, I actually don't use this command a lot. I more so put this slide up so you can know that sometimes Claude will compact and auto-summarize your sessions. It will let you know when it's doing it, but it's good to know that it does this because sometimes like you notice Claude like start performing worse and not understanding what you're doing, and it's maybe because it compacted your session and it doesn't have all the context that it had previously. The other thing is /clear or /exit. So if I'm in a Claude session in the terminal and I just want to leave, I can type in /exit and it'll just go back to my terminal. And now I can type in Claude and go back to it. And now it's Claude again. So exit is just to quit out of Claude. And then clear is if I have a long chat session and I just want to clear everything, just wipe the memory, start a new chat session. So let's say I type in hi. And it takes a while to load. And it's taking a while to load because I have it on extra high effort. So it's thinking a lot even to respond to hi. So I said hi. Now I can type in /clear. and it'll just wipe out my whole session, wipe out the memory. So it's just basically like starting a new chat. It's the same thing as just opening a new terminal and starting a new chat. So yeah. And then there's checkup, which you definitely won't. 2 months from now, you can use it. Checkup, what it does, it goes through all your skills and everything that you've made on Claude, and it'll tell you if there's anything you need to clean up. But this is something like way out in the future you will want to use. It's pretty nice. So if any of you in here are a little bit more advanced, definitely check out /checkup. And then if you want to, you can write your own skills. You can also find skills online. I don't recommend finding skills online, to be honest. But you just know, like, there are marketplaces where you can go and download skills. Just be cautious. Read the skill before downloading it. Make sure nobody, like, wrote anything malicious in there, like saying, like, hey, leak all my passwords or something like that. Another thing is parallel agents. So let's say I tell Claude to research 3 competitors of mine. What it might do is it might go, okay, I'll research one competitor, well, it'll wait, it'll finish, then it'll research another one, wait, finish, research another one, wait, finish. But if you tell it, hey, can you research all of these competitors in parallel, what it will do is Claude will launch 3 subagents. And each of these subagents is in charge of one competitor. And it'll analyze them at the same time and then come back and feed that summary to your main agent, and that main agent will respond to you. So your task will take you 1/3 of the time of what it would have took if to do it in parallel. And to do something in parallel, you just literally tell Claude. You just come here and you say, hey, research 3 competitors in parallel. That's all you need to trigger it. You just say the word parallel and it'll do it. And a lot of times it will just do it in parallel even without you telling it, but if you tell it, it'll be sure to do it. And then the other thing is dynamic workflow. So if you remember earlier, I talked about effort. If we type it here, the max one here is ultra code, right? And ultra code basically launches a ton of agents, like to do a bunch of different research and do a bunch of different things and come back and give you a final response. So it costs a ton of tokens, but it sends out a whole swarm and army of agents to complete your task, and it can have pretty good outputs. These are like some of the patterns it does. You don't like really need to know these, but like Claude will assess which one it needs to use and go ahead and use it. But yeah, it has different patterns of how it will send the agents and judge and whatnot. And these are some of those patterns. That part doesn't really matter. Just know that these ultra code sends dynamic workflows, which means it just launches a ton of agents. Last thing is multiple Claude sessions. Like one of the main reasons I say use Claude Code in the terminal, and one of the most important skills I think you guys should develop, is being able to handle talking to multiple Claudes at the same time. And the way that you do that is one like this. I just kind of like to do it like this, where I'll just like kind of clean this up and have all of my sessions like put next to each other, and I'll like switch between them. I have a really big monitor, so I can fit a ton of them on my monitor. But you can set it up however it fits best for you. There's also a tool called CMux you could download, which is pretty nice. It allows you to do it like this, where it's just like one terminal. It's like one page, but you can have each one of them on certain parts of the page. I don't actually use this myself, but some people like it, so just a shout out to them if you want to use them. Yeah, so that's kind of the rundown of the Claude tips and summaries. Again, going back, the most important thing here isn't going to be like the skills or commands or sub-agents you set up. It's going to be like asking the right questions and how you prompt your agent. So one of the biggest things is like it might be better to say, prompt one is, hey, build XYZ product and cover all edge cases. You could do that. Or it might be better if you split it up into 3 prompts and you say, hey, first you say build XYZ product, then you send another prompt and say, hey, look through this entire product, find 20 things that might break about it, and then it'll share 20 things, and then you can pick like number 1, number 2, 5, 7, and 8. Go fix these ones, right? The way in which you prompt and talk to your AI is going to be more important than the skills that you set up. And there's no perfect prompt. I just wanted to mention another thing that I love doing is telling. So if I want to generate a web page, what I will typically do is I'll tell Claude the description of the web page I want to generate. I'll say, hey, make XYZ web page, make it look like this. And then I'll tell it, but generate me 3 different versions for me to take a look at. I will always do this when I'm making a page. And it will generate 3 different versions of the same page, and then I'll pick which one I like the most. So that's another like tip. You can plan your prompts out in certain ways. This is kind of the way I typically structure my prompts. But honestly, the biggest, most important thing is pick an audio tool like Whisperflow and just talk to your AI agent. that's one of the things that's going to save you the most time. Like saving these 10 hours, a chunk of it comes just from talking to your agent instead of typing to it. So please try it out. Use something to talk to it. Talk to it like a friend, brain dump, and tell it everything, and have it execute all of that. And then the last thing that I recommend when you're setting up your Claude Code is I recommend just coming to it, and then I would download this talking tool, and I would turn it on, and I would give yourself 10 minutes to just brain dump everything about yourself, your company, your goals, whatever you need to Claude. Tell it everything, and tell it, hey, create a file and store this summary about me, my business, somewhere in whatever organization that you think is the best. And once Claude, that's what I did. I sat down here for half an hour, I chatted with Claude, told it everything about me, it stored that information about me, and now we just saw it fill out this form for us, right? So it just completely filled out this form. And all of it, this that it did is because I sat down at one time and fed it all this information about me that it now knows. Now it can generate all these forms and things. Typically, if you're chatting with GPT, what I'm thinking most of you are doing is you come into here and you have to explain to it every time, like, this is my business, this is who I am, go fill out this form. But if you just do this whole process once and store it, you save yourself a ton of time. So please make the investment to do that. I'm going to pause for questions again here. Okay. Any concerns with giving Anthropic all that data? Yeah, that's another thing. So use this at your own risks. There are concerns of Anthropic having access to all this data. I'm not concerned about it personally. At Coinbase, we were giving it a ton of data as well. A lot of the big companies are sharing a lot of their data with it. But are there risks? Yes, there are risks, but they're very, very low. So use it at your own risk. But I think the upside of it and the time and the efficiency that you say right now is so high that it is worth the risk for most people. Do you pay for Whisperflow? No, I have a custom tool called OneKit. It's like in beta launch right now. It should come out in another couple of weeks, which I can share with you guys. But all of these tools that we pay like $20 for, I've built it into one tool to save myself a ton of subscription costs. So I will share that with you guys, but Whisper is one of the tools on there that I use. Is Remotion free? Yes, but it uses a lot of credits to do it. Would you not get lost with is it not better to focus on one task at a time? No, because you can brain dump a bunch of context into one AI, right? And it takes 30 minutes to load. And you don't want to spend that 30 minutes looking at the AI and waiting for it to load. So you go start another task. I've had agents that take like 4 hours to load. If I was working on one task at a time, it would just be a waste of my time, right? So that's why you should launch multiple agents. Make the to-do list, make a list of tasks you need to get done that day, and then start launching agents for each one of them. When you tell everything about yourself and the company to Claude, can someone else prompt Claude and get your details? Kijan, theoretically, yes. Claude has guardrails built in to prevent this. If there is some amazing hacker and you do something amazingly wrong, could it happen? Potentially, yes. Is it? But there's millions of people using Claude, and you rarely see cases of this happening. So it's totally up to you. You use OneKit, Adil? Awesome, I love it. What's the benefit of using Whisperflow or the audio app that you are making? My app just is a lot cheaper than, because my app brings in a bunch of different tools into one. So that's like the main benefit of it. But either of the tools, I'm not trying to sell you guys on OneKit. I'm not even like launching it again to you guys yet. Whisperflow is great too. It's just so much faster to speak than to type. We talk about 4 times faster than we type. And because we talk that much faster, typically we end up giving it more necessary context than we would have if we were just typing. Okay, and then Fable is not accessible in Europe. Dang, sorry to hear. I think seems like yeah, it's exclusive to the US. Yeah, then in that case, I would just stick with Obis. Fable is nice, but Obis will get you 90% of the things you need as well. Can you use /insights on regular Claude? Or is it a Claude Code feature? I believe it's just a Claude Code feature. Where to save and see all your skills and agents? Be able to see somewhere visually. It's not easy to see in the terminal. Yes, good question. What I use to view all my skills and such, like my Claude MD file, is Cursor. It's free. There are paid versions of Cursor, but you can download the free plan and then you can open it up on here. And to open it up on here, you can just tell Claude, hey, can you open the skill that I just created in Cursor? And it will open it for you. I wanted to ask about Claude Code as a study tool. Do you know about that? Yeah, you can definitely use Claude Code as a study tool as well. I would use Claude for everything, to be honest. So if I'm a student, what I would do is the best way to use Claude Code is before my semester starts, go and download all of my syllabuses, all of my lecture notes, everything your teachers provided you. Download it all, and you can actually tell Claude to download it for you. If you set up Claude in browser, you can tell Claude to go through Canvas, download all of these different files that your teachers have gave, and store it in folders in a nice organization. And then in the future, like let's say you're doing an assignment, whatever you're doing, you can tell Claude to like go do the assignment for you, basically, right? If you can get a PDF version of your textbook as well, I would get that as well. And then it's great. It can do assignments for you. It can help you study. It can make practice quizzes for you, whatever you need. But I would just do the work early on in the semester to download all of that context onto your computer and feed it to Claude. Is a big MD file a bad thing? Yes. So this MD file, the Claude MD file I talked about, this gets loaded into every session. So let's say I'm just telling it, hey, like, what if I ask it, like, what is the weather today? All of this will be loaded again in it, right? So you don't want a big one, because not only is it wasting a bunch of money, it'll give you actually worse results if you're feeding in junk into it. So I keep mine very, very simple, like 12 lines. Some people have longer ones, some people have shorter ones. I think I had an example earlier of Andrej Karpathy. Let me pull that one back up. Yeah, this is Andrej Karpathy's one. He's like one of the founders of Vibe Coding, so he's a pro at this stuff. This is his Claude.md file. You can check it out. I put a link to it as well. Would you need Claude Pro for that, or would the free version be fine? You would need the Pro version. The free one wouldn't work. You could use ChatGPT for this as well. I actually, for students, maybe if you're only spending $20, I would recommend ChatGPT. Okay, cool. Great questions. Let's see. How many tokens do you get per month, and what sort of volume of requests does that give you? I don't know the amount of tokens that you get, but compared to if you buy the subscription plan, which is $20, they give you like $200 worth of tokens. It's like 10x. So it's a lot, and the limits reset every like 6 hours and every week. So it just depends what you do to get the most usage out of it. But it's a ton. It's a ton, especially on a $200 plan. It's a ton. I would just start at the $20 one, and then like every time you run out, you can buy a bigger subscription if you need. I think for most people, 100 is more than enough. But if you're like a super power user, 200 is what you want to do. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then another thing, last thing. Pause. Let's take a step back. I saw this TikTok the other week where this is a quote from his TikTok. He said, I burned 100 million tokens in the past hour. It's doing amazing things. It's organizing my Slack. It's handling my email. And I just want to, like, 100 million tokens to organize your Slack and handle your email might be a little bit overkill, right? And it's like, just using AI. AI is just a tool. You don't get any cookie points from using AI, right? So I just want to take you back to like, why did you join this session in the first place? And I would love to hear it from you in the chat. Are you in here because you want to launch a business? You want to try to make money with AI? You want to use it as a study tool? You want to get better grades? What is it that you're trying to do with AI? Let's not go and randomly build a bunch of skills and build a bunch of sub-agents and things like that, because that's useless. You don't get any wins from doing that, right? You got to figure out what is your goal with AI and then backtrack. Start from the goal and then figure out from there, what should I be using AI for? So your goal shouldn't really be to like learn Claude Code, learn Codex, learn Lovable, or like to find out what the best model is, or to optimize my token usage. You should have a more specific goal of like, I want to gain back more time. I want to earn a promotion. I want to earn better grades. I want to launch a side business, right? Whatever that is, figure out what the core goal is, and then don't overuse or use AI when you don't need to, right? Because I see a lot of people doing that as well. It's just, especially with like AI influencers being so big now, I think a lot of people are sharing use cases that are more cool than useful, which it has its place. It's entertaining, it's fun, and he's great. I'm not roasting him either, by the way. There's no hate towards Nate here. I just wanted to use him as an example that I saw that was top of mind. So yeah, I want to ask you guys in the chat, what are you doing this for? Somebody said the goal is to make money for professional future with AI. Awesome. Yeah. Reframe my business so it becomes an online business to make life financially stable. There you go. I would love to either start a business that can support me or do these things as a company, as a remote job. There you go. Yeah. Keep aware so I understand the future for kids and see what opportunities it might bring to me. Yeah, that's a great one too, Dominic. Great. So that's great. I love that you guys kind of know what your goals are. Make sure you're using AI in the right way and you're not overdoing it. It should be a benefit to you, not a disadvantage, right? Yeah. So I'll pause for questions here. Oh yeah. Also the AI Squad's VIP. I'll share again if anybody wants to sign up. I'm gonna be hopping. I'll stay on here for a little bit of Q&A, and then I'll be hopping into office hours for the AI Squad's members. For all the free members, this is the last day that the portal will be open, and then after that, you can join the VIP community where we have all the other stuff too if you are interested. Yeah, but you guys can check out the information. Any questions? I'm building my app and I want to help people by using my app, quit my job, and start building my business. Awesome, Miss Lola. I'm building my insurance tech startup. Nice. Competitive advantage, yeah. AI is, especially with so little people really utilizing right now, it is such a competitive advantage. Yeah, but thank you all again for joining. Feel free to drop off now. I'm just going to be answering some Q&A, whatever you have, but that's it for the session today. There are some more advanced, a couple of sessions we have coming up as well. It's going to be like a Claude advanced session. I'll be talking more about like loop engineering, which is the new trend that everybody's kind of doing, but that's pretty advanced. So, but we'll have a session about that upcoming. We'll have a Codex one actually this Wednesday about how to make your sites look nicer with Codex. And then we have some guest lectures that we do throughout as well as office hours every week. Is Anthropic, is using the Anthropic skills not good? It is, yeah. Anthropic has some skills themselves that you can use. I think I shared a link to it here that I can go back to. And those are good skills you can check out as well. It just depends on your use case. There is no right or wrong answer. Yeah, here are the official Anthropic skills. You can come and look at them. So they have a skill for, let's say, web artifacts. They have one for algorithmic art. And you can come here and click the skill MD and see what their skill is. The link to the form to set up the Claude. Yes, let me. Let me get that link for you. Hi, how can I get brokers to test or someone for my insurance startup? I would figure out where brokers hang out, and you can reach out on LinkedIn if there's events that they're at. Go attend those events. It's just outreach. Just outreach to them. So enjoy that. Awesome, Mirsav. Glad to know you're joining. I'll see you in there. Side question: will I receive feedback for my business from the AI accelerator? Jack, yeah, all our responses are out, so you should have received feedback already on your launch badges from the accelerator. Can I join without the VIP next? The future sessions are only for the VIP community. This one we opened up to the public. If you are downloading OneKit, just a heads up, OneKit is not working very well yet. It's working for some people, not for some. It's in beta, but I am giving free subscriptions for a couple months for people. I haven't gotten any feedback yet. Jack, I would check again. You don't have any right now? I'll check after this, but I'm sure everybody has feedback. Maybe it's a visual. How do we get into the VIP? It's the link here. I'll share it again. You can scan it here. So I don't know if the 16 seats are left still, but if they are, you would get it over there. Who is VIP? No, AI Squads VIP is our community. I think I'm gonna change the name to AI Squads Academy. I don't like the VIP name, but it's basically a year-long monthly program. Like it's a month-by-month program, year-long, where we work on our projects together. I hold office hours every week. I do new live sessions about the latest things that are coming out about AI. You get your squads that you're gonna work with throughout the year on your projects. You get recordings to all these sessions. We give you a bunch of savings on AI tools. And then, yeah, we bring in guests to speak with you as well. And all our content and resources too. Are there any good skills for creating beautiful PowerPoint documents? Kurt, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there is a ton out there. So if you're making PowerPoints, there's actually two ways into doing this. One is you can make it directly on PowerPoint. One is you can create it on an HTML. So you like as an HTML, I mean you can create a website that looks like a PowerPoint. I prefer doing it like that. I think the sites come out a lot nicer when you build it with HTML. And then you can make it more interactive too. Like you can put animations in it and there. And you can do this with PowerPoint too. It's just more difficult. But if you do it with HTML, you can embed videos and animations on all these things a lot more easily. Or let's say you want to put like an interactive piece in the middle of your slides, you can with HTML. So what I recommend is building it with HTML. But Claude also does have the ability to build it directly on PowerPoint. So I would check it out. I would search online. I'm sure there's a bunch of different skills. Can we join at any time? Yeah, the VIP is open. So the way the VIP works, we recently launched. So the first 30 seats we're offering at $20 a month. Then it jumps up to 30 for the next 20 people, and then 40 for the next 20 people. So we're at 16 left. So you can join at any time. It's just the price progressively goes up. The plan is for this group to be like a $100 a month group, to be honest with you all. But since it's early on, we're keeping it kind of cheap to fill out the crew and just for the early supporters of AI Squads. How could you use it to study? Is it able to make flashcards, make quizzes based on lecture notes and stuff? Would you be able to do that a session on that? Hardware, yes, 100%. It can do all of that. And if there is enough interest, I could definitely. Are other people? Do we have a lot of students in here who would be interested in that? Can I do my referrals for AI Squad if I'm not a VIP? Jack, yeah, you can still do your referrals, 100%. On cohort, I got the wrong surname on my certificate. Can I have this amended? Yes, Michael. I think some people reached out to us about this. So we'll get to it. It's just gonna take us a little bit of time. I don't have feedback either. Okay, Abdul, Jack, thanks for letting me know. We did grade them all. I think I might have a UI issue I need to correct. I'll check that out right after the session, and you'll have it. I signed up for VIP. It looks like I made the payment in this area. I paid $99 and $6. Oh, okay, Michael. No worries, Michael. I'll check it out and I'll go ahead and refund you if you made a incorrect payment, so you don't get charged twice. Don't worry about it. I'll sort it out. So this coming week we're gonna open up the chat so we can all chat on the AI Squad chat as well. Jack can see his feedback now. Oh, okay, nice, perfect. Just needed a different route to the badge? Okay, maybe we need to correct that. Separate, I'm asking for dental school now. I'm super scared for how hard it's going to be. I won't have time to make my own flashcards. That's what I've always been doing. Or no, yeah, you can definitely. You don't even need to do this with Claude Code, to be honest. For your another tool I would recommend hardware for you is Gemini. Gemini has a notebook LM tool. I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube videos you could check out on it. Notebook LM is probably the one I would recommend. That's like pretty easy to set up, and you can create flashcards and even like podcasts for yourself to listen to study with. But you did so well in this cohort. I'm sure you're going to be fine in the dental school as well. Don't be scared. Where to save and see all your skills agents and be able to see it somewhere else. Visually not able to see in terminal. Yeah, and Cursor. Cursor is what I recommend. Cursor's free. You can download it and you can open up all your skills and everything in here. That's one of the things I'm setting up OneKit to do as well, hopefully soon. Oh, I see. ChatGPT wasn't the best for flashcards. Try out Gemini. Gemini might be better. But yeah, if you want just quality, Claude was probably the best model if you want high quality flashcards. So do I need VIP to be able to access AI Squads for my product page, common rooms, etc.? Will everything be blocked without VIP? Your project, Jack, you will still have access to your project page if you want to share with people, but the campus and the sessions on all of that, that's going to be for the VIP squads. We run that free for the cohorts sometimes, but yeah, outside of that, it is VIP. Join VIP, but didn't get any confirmation email. Keshawn, I'll check on that for you. I can check on that right now, actually. Where's my phone? Let's see if your thing came through. Oh, great. My phone is dead. Abdul said I joined VIP, and this is great for my venture and summer after A-level, so I'm free. Awesome. Glad to see you in it. Claude is the quality, but I need to learn how to use it better. I think it would be a really good session to see how Claude for students studying, because right now most people, it's for SWEs only. Harner, I got you. But one of the future sessions I'll do then will be on the students. Same issue, no confirmation email? Okay. For whoever didn't get a confirmation email, if you want to send your email, I can double check on it, but I can defer from your name as well. We might have had a high volume of people hopping on when something broke. Let's see. Kurt. Let me check right here. Same email confirmation email. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. I'll fix the confirmation email so you'll get something. There's gonna be an onboarding call later next week that will reach out to you about. But you're in. I see you came through, so you'll have that email coming from me later this week. We'll have an onboarding call likely on Thursday is when it's happening. Excited to see you all in. I think we might have sold out on the seats. Have we? I'm not sure. I'll check after. If there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer. Cool. Yeah. Everybody who's typing in their emails, I see that you have gone through, so you're chilling. Any way to sign up for VIP directly through AI Squad's portal without the QR code? No, I haven't set that up yet. That's part of the reason this is like $20 right now. It's because it's still a work in progress for a lot of the things that we're doing. But yeah, all this will be cleaned up. Here it is. Priyanka asked, what's VIP? VIP is basically the continuation of AI Squads if you guys want to be part of the program. Here, I'll share the screen. It's like weekly office hours, live sessions on AI every month, sessions like these, access to the campus portal, a bunch of savings that we offer you. One of the nice parts is we waive $20,000 of Stripe fees with a deal that we have. So if you get customers, you're going to basically save $20,000 through some of the deals that are exclusive here. Where do we see project feedback? Go to your launch batch and click on it, and you should be able to see it. Is one kit free for the next 3 months? Yes, one kit is free for the next 3 months. If I sign up to VIP now, cheeky request, can I have my app review? Pitch Pulse wasn't at VIP at the time, but I am now. So, Kurt, yeah. So one of the sessions that I do is deep dive project reviews. So each month, one of the sessions will be like this. 2 of them will be office hours. Another one will be project deep dives. And I'll have a form open where you can submit your projects for review. And each week we'll pick like 3 or 4 people and we'll do a live review, like a deep dive on their product together. So yes, you'll have a chance for that. You're a hero, thank you. I got you, thank you guys. Hope my month came through. Kyrie, yes, I saw it. You're all good. Cool. For someone who wants to start helping local businesses by teaching them Claude GPT, what is the best way to find business owners who are interested in learning? Jonia, this is really difficult. It's not... I would start with your warm connections, but to build a business like this, you honestly kind of... At least from my experience, because I do this, right? And I do it semi-successfully. Like, it is my part-time job. When I do this, the companies that pay me will pay me like $2,000 for an hour to go speak to them, right? But it's not easy to land these deals. I talk to the CEOs that I do this for, and they tell me that they receive like 100 emails a day about somebody wanting to do some AI training, education, or upskilling for them. And they're like, I never even click on one of the emails, right? So it really has to be through your brand and your network. You have to build an online presence for yourself. Like, first of all, you have to build a presence of, maybe not an online presence, but a presence of like, why are you the person that I'm going to trust with AI for my business when there's a million other people doing it, right? That's number one. You have to establish that. And then you have to go to networking events, like try to get in person and make connections. Because through email and online, it's really, really hard to land these deals. And that's the hardest part about starting these. A lot of businesses do need these services, but landing it and marketing yourself is like so hard. Actually setting up the systems is easier than landing the deal in the first place. So that's not gonna, it's a tough business to go into just because a lot of people are doing it and there's so much competition. But that would be my recommendation. Build a brand for yourself. It will have to be a long-term play if you're trying to do something like this. Unless you have super small local shops that you can like walk into and like go talk to the owner and try to implement it for them, or you have a network of people around you. This session was awesome, something I wanted to learn for ages. Is this a sign of things to come? Then I'm excited. Awesome, then yeah, good to hear. We'll have another codex session similar to this week. The cadence of these are slower though. These big sessions is around once a month, where I also don't want to overwhelm you. Like one new AI lecture each week is too much AI, right? You should be working on your projects. The main thing is finding that accountability to keep working on your projects. Each month, we'll kind of aggregate the newest stuff that are coming out, kind of cut out the fluff because there's so much noise, bring the stuff that's the most important to you guys. And then we'll have office hours and build sessions to add alongside that throughout the month as well. Bro, I sent like 300 emails last week and only got around 7 replies. Even the ones that were interested just didn't respond when I finally go through to like the creative director for 2. What do you recommend? Yeah, Abdul, it's just difficult. The outreach part is difficult. I think if you can build a brand for yourself online, that's going to be the best. That is kind of what I'm doing here with you guys, right? I'm here hopping on camera, doing sessions, and it's like, I don't really make a lot of money off of like the $20 a month for this program, right? Like I could go work a tech job and make a lot more money than sell $20 subscriptions, right? The main benefit of me doing this is kind of the brand that I build for myself in the long term, right? And that is like the bet that I'm making, is building an online presence, having this massive proof of work of what I do. And then when you have that, the opportunities start to come to you. But it is a long-term play, right? It's going to take years. Like I've been doing this for about a year now. I'm pretty small still, right? It's going to take me another couple of years to try to get to the level I want to. And like, same for you guys. And I think it's a worthy investment, especially in this age. I feel like a resume isn't enough. If I find somebody who has a channel where they show proof of what they've done, it is so much more impressive to me if I'm hiring someone rather than a resume that they send in. But again, it's a long-term thing. On the referral program, it says bronze plus 130. Does this mean the items valued for it is plus 130, or that you get 130 on top? No, it's the value of the items, Jack, not 130 on top. We're not giving out any cash, except we're giving out some AI credits for the big referrals. If you get to like the diamond tier, you can win a bunch of money for AI credits, which we would just like PayPal you the amount for pretty much. So this kind of cash, but we trust you to spend it on AI and we use it on your business. Thought it was too good to be true. Oh, yeah, Jack, yeah. Somebody said, do we build whatever we want, or would there be a theme to build something more or less specific? Apple, it's whatever you want. We encourage people to. The only requirement we have is build something that helps at least one other person. Like the recommendation is to try to either build like a business or a project for your portfolio, which is what most people go after. And we have guidelines on how to choose what is the best product that you should be specifically building for yourself. So there is kind of like a paved out path in that term, but it's wide open in the terms of that, like everybody's project can be widely different. I honestly really appreciate how transparent you are about all this. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm not good. I also, if you start doing content as well, like that's what I realized too. I think like the thing people care most about is like authenticity more than anything. Is one kid replace the subscription to Claude? No, it will give you some credits you can use on Claude, but Claude. So this is the thing. Any tool that you end up purchasing that isn't Claude or ChatGPT or Kimi will charge you more than Claude, ChatGPT, or Kimi because they also have to pay Claude, ChatGPT, and Kimi for their models, whereas Claude can offer it at a discounted rate. So even with OneKit, I still recommend using Claude Code in addition to OneKit. They complement each other well. Paid to VIP, woo! All right, let's go. Are there future sessions for VIP only? Yes, no, boo. For VIP, are the credits stretched out month to month or given within the first month? Charlie, we don't give credits in the VIP. We have discounts for AI tools and different tools that you can go and grab, but we don't give you any credits. You would be responsible for purchasing your own credits. Are lectures from the previous cohorts in the VIP? Yes, the lectures from the previous cohort will be in the VIP. But I do recommend I recommend going through a cohort live. You will have immensely more value if you go through the cohort live, and it's coming up in August. Go through that live instead of watching the recordings. I promise you will have much more value out of it doing it that way. That is the main value of the cohorts. It's like the 5 weeks of lock-in. How does the free VIP month work based on the referral bonus? Caddy, yeah. So for you will get an email and like a code for the free month of VIP if you did the referrals. So let's say you can purchase it right now for a month, but if you also want a month, it will get added on. So now you have 2 months. The cohort is awesome. Do it. Thanks there, and thanks for the shout out. Are the lectures from the? Oh yeah, buzzing separate. Thank you. There's no feedback on my launch badge. Kuda, there should be. If you were in the fast track, everybody should have a feedback on the launch badge. If you're not on fast track, then you won't have feedback. Yeah, definitely long term. Okay, good, Abdul. Yeah, I think long term is the play. Just in general, too, for most things you're doing, I think long term is typically the better play. There's a session about building a personal brand happening in another 1.5 hours. I can share the link here if that's okay. Yeah, Keshan, go for it. Also, the certificate is great. Okay, good. Glad to hear. We'll have some more certificates we're releasing for the VIP program as well, where as you grow, you can get larger and larger certificates just for proof of work, so you can show off all the great things you know to your employers. So how do you get the $1,000 Airtable open router credit savings if I subscribe to VIP? Yeah, Charlie. So there will be an onboarding session email that you'll get through this Thursday, and in that session I will go over all of this. And if you can't make it to the live session for the onboarding, that's completely okay. We'll send you the recording for it. But it's basically a link on our site that you can go through and redeem all the credits. Going to drop off now. Thanks, Pepper, for everything. Hopefully we'll see you again soon when I get VIP. Yeah, Jack. Catch you soon. Later. Peace. I got fast track email yesterday, so I didn't get any of the benefits during the AI class, but can I get the feedback for my projects? Becky, unfortunately, we can't offer any of the benefits anymore because all of our staff is gone now. Yeah, waiting for it, my guy. All right, exciting. But Becky, what we can do is if you're in the if you end up coming into the VIP program, which you probably are getting a month free of anyways, through the referrals. We have a session where we do project deep dives, and you can submit your project for one of those, and that will be even better. We'll go like deep into your project. You got you didn't sign up for fast track until yesterday. Why didn't you sign up at the beginning? I was fast tracked on VIP. Nice. AI VIP. It seems payment is restricted to US only, unable to pick UK. Did anybody else have it? What you all split up? No, we didn't split up. It's just like we hire our TAs for the cohorts, so we didn't split up. Ayush is still here hanging out, but not even as a TA. He was just here to like check out the Claude session, I guess. But Ayush is the best. Packed button, Andre. You saw the packed? Wow, yeah, you're on top of it. Yeah, that's a hidden feature. It's gonna be coming back soon, but I didn't want you guys seeing it. You must have been on right when I was working on it. I paid $15.46 in UK. Okay, it seems some people got it. G, if you're having trouble still, if you can like send me an email, I'll provide you the email. We'll make sure we get you sorted out. Just send us a screenshot or whatever it is. Is there a way to access the lecture from the normal cohort? So for the normal cohort, we have our typical 5-week cohort lectures that we do. And that one, yeah, if you apply and you get in, you'll get those, but not these bonus additional ones that we roll out as new content gets created. So that was more for like the beginner intro camp. No, G, can you send me an email, please? Can you send us an email? With whatever issue you're having, if you can send us a screenshot, we can help you out. Cool. 2 more minutes, I'll be on here, then I'll hop into office hours for a little bit if anybody has questions from the cohort. But I'll be hopping off shortly after that. But yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out. It's always fun. I have no idea how many people were on YouTube. But we'll check it out after. I can't be in office hours, but see you in VIP. Thank you all. Alright, Marissa, thanks. See you. Alright, Al. I think I'll cut the stream. Oh, we were on TikTok live this whole time too. I forgot to look at any of the TikTok live stuff. Okay. Send me a link. Oh, here. I can send you a link. This is the link. G. Can you please send the link for cohort number 5? Yes. Cohort number 5 link is right here. Will this be available for review? Yes. In the community, we will have the recordings up for this session as well. Cool. All right. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna end the recording here, and I will be in office hours for a little bit if anybody wants to chat. Otherwise, thanks all for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Hey, Aline. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good, and you? Thank you for the session. It was very nice.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
My internet dropped, so I missed 10-15 minutes. It was sad. But we can use all those tools simultaneously. If you decide to use Claude or any other ones, like Lovable, can we use both, or we have to only use one at a time?
Yeah, you can use both. You can use all of these tools combined. If you set up your system right with GitHub and figure out how to set that up, then you can use all of these tools. So if you're stuck on that, if you go back to the lecture, I believe 3 recording is where we went through that process. If you set up your GitHub, we talked about how to do it with Lovable and Cursor, but it's the same process for Cursor and Claude and Lovable and everything.
Amazing, thank you.
Of course. Well, we got a ton of people in office hours. Awesome. Yeah, just feel free to shout out questions or whatever you want to chat about.
Question, please. It's Helena and Lucy.
Oh, hey. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Can you send a link for the cohort 5, please?
Yes, I will. It's just the main AIsquads.org site. You can check it out. You press apply for free, and that'll be the cohort 5 under it.
Thanks.
So, Per, you know the agents that you talked about in Claude Code?
Mm-hmm.
So, on Lucy's Linky 101 platform, we're recruiting mentors at the minute to give feedback to the young entrepreneurs. Could that be an agent task? Whereas if someone...
Yo.
Hi, Lewis. So if someone asks a question, could the agent respond to that?
Yeah, you can definitely set. So that the Claude Code agent is for agents for you if you wanted to do certain things, right? You would still create an agent, but you would just create an agent on your... Oh, Helena?
Oh, she gone?
No,
oh,
I'm here.
She gone.
Oh, you're
She's
here.
back.
Okay. I
Just took a quick wonder.
I said walk away for a sec, yeah.
She had enough of you, Super.
So you would set up an agent within your site. So it wouldn't be a Claude Code agent. It would be an agent on your website that nobody would see. It would be on your backend, and it would go read the question and respond to it. So that's something you could definitely set up, correct?
Awesome.
Would you do that on Claude?
So
because that's how she's doing it, Claude and then Netlify.
Yes. You would do that with Claude. You would just tell Claude to create that setup for you. So again, I would tell it exactly what you told me when you came into here. I would tell it, hey, I want to create something where it responds to all the mentors' questions when they type something in, and Claude would set that up for you.
Okay, brilliant. And would there need to be separate agents? So say one question was on marketing, one question was on finance. Would there need to be separate agents? Or just generalized?
You can create multiple. It really depends. Once you can create an agent specialized in marketing, one specialized in business. You can do it multiple ways. I would recommend starting out with just one agent, which is probably going to get you 95% of what you want. But if you want your answers to be more specific in a certain way, then in the future you could experiment with having sub-agents and multiple agents.
Okay, we'll have a play around with that then. That could be a great idea.
That sounds good.
Awesome.
I love it. It's like we're cooking again. Woohoo! Come on, VIP.
nice. Love it. Love to see all the people.
Oh no, I'm loving it. It's good to have the game back.
yeah, I love it. Good to see so many people. Cool, yeah.
It's like we're back in the family. We're hey.
We're all hugging each other tight over here. Cool, yeah. Whoever else asks questions, feel free to shout out. If we're just hanging out, that's cool. But if you have any particular questions.
Is that recording going to be available for review?
Yes.
The session just now.
Yes. So Thursday
Awesome.
is our onboarding, and I'll go through like all the links and where to click for all of that in the portal. Then.
Sweet beans, my man.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Good. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys more.
Oh, mate, honestly, my week's busy. I've got every Wednesday now at 9 o'clock at night, I've got a Zoom meeting with Tony Robbins.
Oh, yes, I remember. That's exciting.
Yeah, mate, honestly, it's like how in a matter of weeks is like freaking weird.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, no, buzzing. I just don't know what to build though. Like, will we get inspiration, obviously, as the VIP goes on?
Yes. We'll have some stuff to constantly like keep it fun and keep you guys inspired.
Awesome.
So we have a lot of plans for it.
What days will the VIP be on, Super?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on a Thursday.
No. So the VIP will continue to be at the same time that we've had our sessions. So
Saturday.
that Sunday slot is going to be the same. Sometimes it'll be a lecture, sometimes it'll be office hours, sometimes it'll be project deep dives. But then throughout the week as well, I will sprinkle in like build sessions. Sometimes Ayush will come in with the office hours. We'll have different things sprinkled throughout as well. But that Sunday time is the slot you want to.
Because it's VIP, is it a step up from AI squads?
Yes. So for example,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. For example, the lecture you saw today, right? It's a little bit more advanced, and we'll get further into more advanced topics. And it's mainly for the people who are like serious, where I know like they really want to invest into this. Because the main problem we had with the cohort 2 is because it's a free program, a lot of people sign up, but then like don't want to talk, don't join the sessions, and then the community aspect falls apart a little bit, right? But with the VIP group, I'm really excited because I think the connections you guys are going to form with each other are hopefully going to be like really strong ones where weekly you're meeting.
I can't talk for anyone else, but me and Helen know we've already got quite a strong thingy. We're friends even outside of this.
Perfect. Okay, nice. I love that. Awesome. So we'll be doing some squad matching again, and then figuring out how to place you guys.
Well, can we be in the same squad? Me and Helen now. We've already.
Yes.
We're pre-squads.
Definitely.
Get Tony Robbins into the program.
That would be nice.
Yeah, totally right. I'll ask him.
Please do.
Who knows? Sky's the limit.
They had
We actually reached out to Damien Hughes as part of the high performance in the UK. I don't know if you know him, Super. Damien Hughes and Jake Humphrey. So they do a podcast about high performance, and
Awesome.
we've got a Zoom arranged in August as well with him.
Oh,
He's
go on,
really
girls.
passionate about what we're doing and the idea behind the project. So I'll keep you posted with that.
nice.
Oh, please,
nice,
and
exciting.
me, please.
You know Damien Hughes, don't you, Lewis?
Sorry?
You know Damien Hughes.
Do I?
Well, he's part of the. Yeah, you'll know him. You'll know of him.
Oh, you'll have to refresh me. You'll have to put it in the chat on like, WhatsApp or something.
I have a question about the VIP program and the referral thing.
Yeah, go for it.
You said the price would rise. Would the price rise for people who already signed up?
No.
Or will they be...
No, the first 20 get it for 19 if you read it, and then the next from 20 to 50 get it for 30 quid, and then anyone
so
plus
I
50
understood
get it
that,
for the
but-
next bracket.
My question is if I get the 1 month free referral, I just signed up for $20, so the next month I can get for free basically if I get the referral bonus basically?
Correct. Yeah. And
Okay.
you guys are all locked in at $20. I will not increase the pricing on those of you who got in now. So even when we hit like
That's
$100,
$20, it's 15 quid.
Yeah.
15.76. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
What a time to be alive. Oh my god, thank you so much, Sophia. You absolute legend.
And thank you guys. I appreciate you guys on being like the founding squad for this and supporting this. It means a lot. Severs.
No, awesome.
where? Oh, sorry.
Can we have Darren on our squad as well, please?
Yes. I might forget all of this, but we'll figure it out. We'll make sure you get in the squad that you like when we get there. Sever said, oh sorry, Kurt said, Sever, what can we do to help you as you build out? Oh, Kurt, thanks a lot. Oh wait, Kurt's not here. Kurt's in the corner, but he has that. I'll respond to him in the chat.
I don't know. You're lovely walking off today, aren't you? You're all over the place.
Rick, Kurt just run right past.
Okay, I'll type to him in the chat. Any other? Always the same time of day, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Aline, yes, we're gonna keep the main sessions at this time of day. We'll have other sessions at different times, and then everything's gonna be recorded. So if you don't show up, you're fine.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so obviously we created our ideas in the cohort. I'm just not sure whether to launch it. Like, in terms of what I was doing is the pre-loved marketplace in Dubai, but I'm not sure whether to just start or to go through the whole thing of fundraising basically to cover like the registration, or just start without the registration. Like, it's a bit risky here, obviously in Dubai, to, I don't know, start organizing people to pick up clothes or whatever it is without the registration. But I feel like I run my other businesses without registration, so you know what I mean.
I mean, I don't want to give you advice that gets you in trouble, and I don't know the Dubai laws as well. But to me, it seems like one, you're already doing it with your other businesses, so you're already at risk anyways. Might as well do the same thing with this, right?
Yeah.
And then just typically early on, I think it's okay to take more risk early in your business, because that's what we have as an advantage to us when we're small, is we can move fast, break things, and take risks where big companies move super slow. And we have to use that advantage. And if we don't, it's just like we're never going to be able to compete with the bigger people. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of taking big risks early on, especially in your company.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Sapir, the YouTube link is still going live.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I always do that. Sometimes I'll just be eating food after and I still have it live.